Flashback to 2016. Simpler times. Jelly Fam No was a movement that had the entire basketball world in a chokehold. A group of New York and Jersey high schoolers had created something great. Everybody was on the court trying to hit these tough lays, even if they ain't actually had that in their bag. Everything about it was so special and well-timed. High school basketball in general at the time was booming, probably at, or at least near its peak on social media. And the Jelly Fam members were pretty much all well-known recruits. One of them though was just a little different from the rest. Reid. Nas got into basketball a little later on, but clearly just had a knack for it. A huge human who genuinely, actually moved like a guard. His skill level caught the eye of everybody, cause dude is not normal. The term unicorn get thrown around a lot, and you actually did have a unicorn fam not that long ago. But Reid absolutely fit the bill. A consensus 5-star, boy had it all, including a host of options on where he could go to school. Ended up committing to LSU, who had just had Ben Simmons a couple years prior. He, just like Benjamin, was a one-and-doner. Had a cool little season, put up 14-7, and his team did appear in the Sweet 16 that year. But his combine was cheeks. He came in as a fat boy and scared everybody away. So much so that dude ain't even get drafted. From 5-star to undrafted, as he already done said himself, he went from being the hunted to hunting. Everything got flipped on his head for Nas. Minnesota went ahead and picked him up a couple weeks after the draft, and it was time to get to work. Now obviously, coming in as an undrafted free agent, he ain't really had no expectations, and you don't really get too many opportunities. His first year, he saw a good amount of G League time, where he was pretty good, as you'd expect from somebody with his talent. An opportunity arose though, cause Cat got hurt. It wasn't like they had nothing to lose regardless, they were terrible. He was fine, about as good as you could hope for, but he did carve out a place for himself in Minnesota moving forward. He followed year one up with a good sophomore campaign, showed improvement in basically every area, essentially playing the whole season and getting a few more minutes a game. Now year 3 was important, even though statistically speaking, he saw regression literally everywhere. He was in sensational shape that season, and it showed to be where Nas really began turning the corner. Minnesota was actually good that year too. It was technically the second year and first full one of the D-Lo Cat pairing, and it was Ant's second year. Made it to the playoffs but completely flopped. Lost to Memphis, blew like 20-point leads in multiple games I think, including blowing multiple 20-point leads in a single game. It was truly a travesty. They low-key should have won that series. Anyway, year 4 for Nas was the one. Cat was hurt, again, so Nas really got to show off his whole game. Until he got hurt himself. So even though his best season up to that point ended quite unfortunately, Minnesota knew they had something. They retained their platoon and ran it back this past year, where everything came together. Specifically for Nas, he just won 6th Man of the Year and became a real name in the game, showing off everything that make him so special. I think first and foremost, I gotta bring up the shooting. Shooting 42% from 3 on 5 attempts. He really exclusively a off the catch, spot up guy. And he shoots so well that you have to actually fully account for him while he on the floor. It can be hard though, since he probably gonna be sharing the floor with some offensively explosive elites. But giving him any kind of space is not gonna end well for you. He's a massive man with a quick trigger too, so a lot of shots are open to him, and he will shoot. What's so fascinating about it though is that Minnesota don't really run that many plays for him. He hardly ever coming off of screens. He just great at spotting up and playing off others within the flow of your offense. So having a Anthony Edwards is truly a blessing. And having Nas on the court open up driving lanes for others, cause helping off for him kinda stupid. But his calling card has always been that he is a big guard. He peruses around the court in ways that, even after seeing it for all these years, it still don't really make sense. I'm talking about the crossover crazy, and I say he possesses an elite in and out. But his handle assists him greatly, specifically in attacking closeouts. He is too quick and shifty for other bigs to stay in front of, but way too big for a guard or a forward to check. The bag work is there in spades, which assists him in getting downhill to show off his real good finishing. He's literally known as Big Jelly, able to go up with either hand with plenty of finesse. But he do not forget that he's 6'9" and over 260 pounds. He will absolutely boom you. put you in the basket. The man has a very unique offensive skill set, being built like a center, but able to blend the finesse and quicks with a lot of power. I can't just come on here and call his offensive game complete though. The mid-range game is non-existent, and he don't really do too much in regards to pull-ups off the dribble. We either spotting up or we driving, which ain't necessarily some terrible thing, I'm just pointing it out. But what Nas was really able to show something this year was defensively, especially in the playoffs. Speaking on the Nuggets series in particular. Gobert missed game 2, and Nas saw a very good amount of the best player in basketball and was able to do a fantastic job. One of Jokic's greatest strengths is his strength, able to move and bully guys around. But Reid is very strong and stout in his own right, but also has the fluidity and overall movement to take it out to the perimeter as well. That means checking guards too. The mobility he has easily allows him to do so, and he himself can navigate through screen actions or handoffs. He can again just be a big and guard the road man in pick and rolls in whatever covers you like, to be honest. And he is essentially a 7-footer, so I mean, he ain't Gobert or nothing, but we can protect the rim a little bit. He truly does embody everything that the term unicorn means. He brings a good bit of almost everything to the table. It's a very odd blend that perfectly fits the mold of the new age big man. Minnesota was already knowing what they had and got him on the absolute steal of a deal at the moment. 13 M's a year for this kind of talent is nuts. A perfect role player that is more than willing to play his role. And it is weird, cause do I think Nas could go to a boo-boo team and put up some better numbers? Sure. But for what? He is everything a contender could want and need. And no, I don't think Minnesota should be trying to move off Cat and thrust Nas into his role. I would not do that. Yeah, now for the future, hey, Nas will again be a free agent in a couple years, and he'll for sure be cheaper to keep than Cat or Gobert. And with the way he's shown a real dedication to improving himself and his game, only my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ knows where the ceiling for Nas is at. Also, with my last video being on Team USA and their more up in the air future, I do think Nas' skill set could be one they'll need in 28. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. It's been real cool to be able to just watch so much of Nas' basketball career play out. Going from one of them ones to basically being in the trenches and having to earn every single thing that he done got. Like I said though, hope y'all enjoyed this one. If you did, leave me a little like. Leave any thoughts you got in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. Tap in with my social medias too. I have them linked in the description and all that. And I'll see y'all soon in the next one.